Oh, look at that.
Going live in a few minutes. Is that what that's telling
Yeah. It's amazing when the notifications work.
you? I don't
So I've cleaned my garage. I cleaned my basement. I cleaned out my shed. It didn't need it, but I did it anyway.
know.
Uh, I don't know what I'm going to clean next. I'm getting bored. I've also watched, I think, everything in my Netflix queue. Um, there's no more movies I want to rent, and I have to start reading books.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But it's snow time. You got nothing to do. You can just shovel your way out after all that snow. What's
It's actually almost melted. Got up to like 50 degrees today, and I got gravel driveway again. So tomorrow it's going to be 50, 60 mile per hour winds, and hopefully it will finish melting off the snow. It's not supposed to be cold. I think it's supposed to be like 40, 45 and rain tomorrow.
You just lose power due to trees coming down.
Yeah, got my chainsaw ready to go. Guys, we're going live in about 1 minute. We let everyone kind of jump online. If you're online with us now, feel free to say hello. What's the weather right now there, Mike? What's the temp?
Actually, nicer than it was earlier. It's got to be in the low 50s, but I'm not even sure 100%. Let me check there. I had to actually put a pair of sweatpants on earlier. It was getting a little chilly.
Mm-hmm.
Could have stayed in shorts. I was just being a big baby.
Maybe
Yeah, 50,
you should maybe move everything from one side of your basement to the other.
well, now I think maybe next I'll go through every box down there and see what I could throw out. You know how it is. You've got stuff in your basement you haven't seen in years
Yeah,
and don't know why you've saved it.
right.
I found a wall mount for a TV that I haven't used in 5 years.
It's one of those old ones that with the real big bolts and the real big components because it's
Oh
old.
yeah,
Yeah,
because the weight they used to be a little heavier.
right, right. All right, guys, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Easter Sunday, 7 p.m. T4 Survival Live. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We were just talking about what we've done over the past week, and Mike's cleaned his garage, his basement, watched everything in his Netflix queue. What else have you done, Mike?
I'm gonna start watching stuff in the Netflix queue I wouldn't watch ever. Just they need something to do.
With subtitles.
I tried. They got some interesting looking stuff, but I just can't do it when the audio is not in sync. I can't
No,
do
I
it.
can't do it either. I've tried, and there's been some interesting. You're absolutely right. Interesting titles, and then I look at it and start to watch it, and I end up clicking out of it. So let us know what you're doing to get through the quarantine. What'd you do today? What have you done over this past week? We'd love to hear your comments. So type them in the comments below, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. If you're watching a live stream from our website, there's no interactivity. It's only viewable only from the website. So if you would like to interact with us, ask us any questions, jump over to our YouTube channel or any one of our Facebook pages, and you'll be able to chat with us and talk with us via those platforms. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the T4E line of weapons. Mike, you want to kind of give everybody a little intro of what those weapons are?
Uh, yeah, they're a great training weapon. A lot of people are kind of looking at them as an option to firearms because they maybe not be able to get a hold of them.
Hmm.
So the T4E line of weapons, they're CO2 powered. They fire 43 caliber rubber ball, paint marker, dust marker, and there's a CS round,
Right.
so tear gas or they're irritant.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they're not fun to get hit with. By no means are they. It's definitely not a firearm, but it'll get your attention.
Right. Absolutely.
When you look in the news and you hear every time you turn around, you can't get ammo. People can't get firearms. They didn't think that. Oh, I need a permit. What do you mean I need a permit? Well,
Right.
that's the way it works. You just can't walk in and buy a weapon in most places.
Uh-huh. Hey,
So
yeah, I want to say hi to Jeff. He commented on my ears. He liked my ears. I told you they like the ears, right? Now, I usually have
what are
them
you?
hidden underneath a hat, but today I figured, what the hell, let it all hang out, right? Patrick, you like the ears too? Thanks, Patrick. Yes, I like them. Logan, thanks. Yeah, I like the ears. See, the ears are a hit.
Here's our all right.
The
All right, I won't argue with you.
Hey, Patrick made another 500 rounds of ammo this past week. while you were cleaning out the garage and basement. Yeah, that's awesome. Nicely done, Patrick. So let's talk more about the T40 line of weapons. I'll pop some pictures up on the screen for everyone too.
So they got semi-automatics. You've got your PPQ. You have Walther. You've got a Glock clone, and there's a Smith Wesson Shield 2.0, I think.
Yep.
There's the PPQ. It's got function, blowback, the feel of the real deal, and for being a Glock clone, it's pretty close there, I think. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the PPQ, I think they all do. I didn't grab photos of all the different colors, but I know the PPQ comes in green and dark earth.
OD green.
So what's that?
It's a military green, not a light corny green. It's a pretty cool green, actually.
Olive or OD green or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. We put the Smith up for Scott. By the way, Scott unable to join us today, so shout out to Scott, maybe jumping in or at least watching us for a little bit online. But for Scott, here's a Smith for you, right? And then the middle, obviously the better of the weapons, the Glock, and then
it's not even a real. It's a clone. So it's still better than all the other options.
Even the clone is better, right? How about that?
This is a little different. Now this as far as a 50 caliber paint marker, and don't know if they have them, but I'm sure you could find them out there. You could probably get a rubber ball, and I do think they've got other types of projectiles for it. But
yeah,
and there's a couple versions of that. That from what I've been reading, that could pack a pretty good punch.
Absolutely.
As you can see, it's got that quick. I think that has the quick action activation for the CO2, so you don't have to keep it charged all the time.
Right. What that means is that
same type
you put the CO2 cartridge in, and it doesn't puncture it. But when you need to access this weapon quickly, you slam the bottom of that, what's coming out of the magazine, onto a hard surface, and it will then puncture the CO2, and it's ready to operate. So that's why a lot of we're getting a lot of calls and questions about using this for a non-lethal option and having it ready to go at all times. And UMERC's been fantastic about saying, hey, let's create this pistol in a way that we can put the magazine in and not charge that CO2 cartridge, so that if someone does want to use it in that aspect, they can just slam it down and then get to business if they need to. So that was fantastic.
Then they have that option for magazines for the PPQ or the other weapons at T4E line.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not just for the revolver.
Right.
Although before that came out, we were doing a little testing. We found that with a good set of seals in the magazine, it would last about a month.
Yeah.
Traditional style, but you don't want to rely on that. If you don't have to.
Right.
There's an option where I would go with the quick acting, the quick charge.
The CO2s in the cold weather too don't last as long, and the air depletes out a lot quicker. So you need to be aware of that if you're using the CO2 cartridges and keeping them in your weapons for a period of time. Also, some of the rifles, the T4E rifles, have been known to clog up the silicone over the cold weather as well. So you got to keep those lubed up and clean, just like any regular weapon, right?
All the air guns, even airsoft, doesn't like cold weather because it's all the seals in it. The cold is the less movement or the flexibility your O-rings have, and it causes problems.
Absolutely. But just like any weapon, even your real weapon, you should be cleaning it, maintaining it, and making sure it's always functional, ready to operate. That's the way I treat these T40 line of weapons. I know you and Scott are the exact same way. They get cleaned with our regular weapons. They get maintained, oiled, and everything else. So if you're going to invest into this for a weapon for training, maintain it, take good care of it, because they're sure as hell not cheap.
Just to be clear with people, we're not using the same materials and the same cleaning stuff on the T4E guns.
No, that's a good point.
But it's its own equipment, its own silicone spray.
Right.
You have to be careful what you're putting in with the weapon or on these weapons.
Yeah, they make a special silicone spray, and it comes with implements inside of your kit when you purchase this, the PPQ and all the other weapons to clean it, right? And then you buy a little bottle of some special silicone to be able to spray into it. All that stuff's available if you need it. Very good point. You see someone start pulling out the boar brush and
they pop it on the table next to them. They're scrubbing it down. I don't think that'll end well, but hey, at least they're trying, right?
Really good point. I'm glad you actually brought that up. Right?
But, not that people are stupid, but you say clean it like you do with your other gun. Somebody's going to clean it like they do with the other guns.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, they told me to do it.
Yeah, I know. And then they'll come back at us. Hey, hi, Jennifer. Happy Easter. Thank you. I know the ears seem to be a really big hit. I'm getting lots of comments here on social media that people like the ears. So thank you. Shout out to Logan. How are you, Logan? Thanks for joining us tonight. All right. So we've been talking about the T40 line of weapons and using them as a training weapon, also an option as a non-lethal, right? And Mike hit upon this a little bit earlier about the unavailability of getting firearms for individuals, and people kind of going a little bit into panic mode of what are they going to use for self-protection. And it's an interesting point because a lot said, oh, I don't need anything. I won't need to buy a firearm. Why am I going to go down that road? And then end up finding from a lot of our friends that a lot of those people that had that comment before when this started happening with COVID-19 and the quarantine and started reading the news stories, kind of went into a little bit of a panic mode, and people were going out and maybe they were on the fence about purchasing a gun or were maybe thinking about it, said, you know what, I'm going to go try to get a weapon now, and they couldn't. They realized that there's a process behind it to be able to get their hands on one. So those of you who might be watching that are in that situation where you wanted a firearm, you didn't have access to one, you need to start doing the process, feel free to send us a message or start chatting on our website. We'll put you in touch with David, who can do some private classes with you during this time and get you ready to go so that you could file your paperwork with your local municipality to start the process to get your firearm, because who knows what might happen again in the future, near or far. And it's a good idea to get the paperwork done. Now, that being said, a lot of municipalities, and Mike, you could speak probably better to this than I can, are not doing fingerprinting and not processing paperwork right now for pistol permits. So
there's a lot of stuff that's not happening because of the social distancing,
right?
And trying to minimize exposure to the employees,
right?
You start having a whole police department that gets sick because of an unnecessary exposure,
right?
That really impacts your services. So you're seeing a lot of agencies placing the non-criminal or non-arrest fingerprints on hold.
Right.
The courts aren't restricting when you can send people up, or court dates are available. So the whole 9 yards, from job applications, which unfortunately not a lot of people are working right now,
right.
All the way through to firearms or the pistol permits. So if you didn't have it done beforehand, you're gonna end up waiting until the end. However, you could still do the education, get everything in line to submit it when everything frees up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot more than just taking a class, filling out one form. You got to get it notarized. You got to get the bank checks. There's a whole process. They give you a form to work through, a checklist.
Right.
So there's nothing to say that you can't get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to get ready. I mean, in ammo, everything. The firearms are going to be more available again. Ammunition is going to become more available. What I was paying for 1,000 rounds, I'm paying now to get this 500 rounds.
Right.
It actually, it's a little bit higher, but it's just astronomical. I can't believe the prices are so high, but I get it.
Right.
The availability, everybody's buying it up.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
With luck, everything will kind of level out and.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So starting the process, great idea. If you don't have someone that can do a pistol permit for you, or you don't have someone in mind already, send us a message through our website, or put them in the comments, and we'll DM you with David's contact information. He's our NRA instructor. He can take care of the process for you, and probably do a lot of the stuff online right now while we're going through what we're going through, so that when this is all over, you can start getting the process done and get things finished. I mean, you're looking at a good 3 to 4 month process between taking the course online, needing to fill out the paperwork, which you could do now while you're quarantined. You won't be able to do the 6 live fire shots right now. You're going to have to wait for that, right?
I mean, you really probably could. What I think you're going to see is a lot of these training facilities are going to start realizing they can do training, but you have to distance. So you're not going to have as many students in your class. You'll probably see a lot more of the private one-on-one,
right?
Because at least you can have some distancing. I mean, granted, you got to get a little closer than 6 feet, but if you take precautions and proper PPE, you can still do your live fire with somebody. I think there's a way around it.
Hey, David, I think David's on with us. David, do you have access to your range and to your gun club to do the process, and let me know. Put them in the comments or send me a text or a message. I'll keep it
And a
up.
lot of these, there's options to shoot outdoors.
Mm,
Like I'm planning on meeting up with a family member to go do some at the range, shoot outside.
yeah,
We don't. We're going to just spend time together.
right,
We don't have to stand on top of each other.
right,
We're hanging out. We're on an open air range, shooting at some targets.
yeah, right.
It sounds like a nice time to me.
Uh, Patrick just put in a comment here, and let me put it up onto the screen so guys can see it. So Patrick says, just my personal experience. Last two purchases were in the last 2 weeks. Both went pretty smooth, but were middle of the day and weekends, given that they're doing it by appointment. It reduces stress on the state police, which seems to make things go faster, at least sometimes. But you've already got your permit, so that makes things a little bit easier. There's lots of people that are contacting us for training and getting their process done while they're quarantined, and everything's kind of at a standstill. That's why we're kind of promoting, start a little bit of the process now, what you can do inside. Hopefully, David will let us know.
We're relaxed. We've got our permits. We've had them. I've had them mine for many, many years.
Yeah.
Jamie, same. We didn't wait. The problem is there's people that kind of want it, don't see the real need, but think there may be a need. They're back and forth.
Yeah.
And something like this happens, and they realize, what was I waiting for? Oh my God, I got to hurry.
Right.
But they didn't do enough to put themselves in a good position.
Yeah.
If you're afraid, if you're still up in the air about maybe owning a firearm or having it in house, but you think it's going to happen, or you want to be able to go shooting, or down the road you believe it, get your permit now.
Right.
It's better to have it and not need it, because then it gives you options and flexibility.
Yeah.
It doesn't restrict it.
And then the key, once you get your permit, is to train. So make sure you hook up with us and get to one of our camps. And you obviously go to the range on your own and put some time in at the range, but you need to get off the paper targets and get a lot more involved with stress inoculation and pulling from holster position and doing the stuff that we do at our training events. So go through the process, and then
about the camps.
Yeah.
A lot amongst ourselves, and ideas how to always make it better and do different things.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I messaged you guys. Let's bring in common building materials to show as a course of fire for our students to see what so they can see when they shoot it, instead of us just demonstrating it.
Right.
How it does it around, how it affects it.
Right.
Okay. I can tell you and I can show you video, but when you do it, it's you sometimes retain it differently.
Yeah.
You get a better idea.
Right.
Think of it to change it up.
So
we're always doing things a little differently, but you can't do that other places.
No.
I can't bring in windows. I can't bring in sheet 2x4s or build a partial wall with the
sheet
the beams and everything.
Yeah.
Sheet rock, 2x4s. I can't make that kind of mess on a private or somebody's range or a club range.
Right.
But where we put it up there, we clean up after ourselves, but we can make a heck of a mess.
Yeah.
During our camp.
Right. And we do make a hell of a mess.
Oh yes, we do.
The other thing is like shooting out of a vehicle. You can tell everyone all day long what it's like to shoot out of a vehicle, but until you have that experience of shooting a weapon inside of an enclosed space like that, right, and through a windshield and feeling that concussion, there's nothing that can replace that, right? So that was eye-opening for a lot of people. So David says, as of now, yes, range is still open. We'll be starting up classes soon. Currently have a list of attendees, so I recommend contacting me soon to get on the schedule. And I know we're going to be talking with David about using our online platform to be able to do the virtual classes as well. So if you're interested in getting in contact with David, send us a message through our website, and we'll get you his contact information and get things going for you guys. Let's see. Jennifer asked, do you think it's important to update state permits to multi-state, including Utah? What do you think, Mike? I know my feeling on that.
Even though I didn't need to because of I know Leos is a mess, but I have a little flexibility being active duty and then retired law enforcement. We're allowed to carry as long as we're in good standing, and we qualify yearly. There's some restrictions, things you have to worry about, but that's besides the point. Utah is a great other permit to have. There's a lot of reciprocity with that. And what I mean is, I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to look it up because I don't usually have to think about it. I went and got Utah for kicks. I went for my brother. I thought it'd be a nice afternoon. We went through the Utah class, and then I applied and I got my Utah permit, and I think I've renewed once already. But there's if you can go online and it gives you that flexibility. So you want to go Maine's constitutional carry. Before when I did it, it wasn't, but Maine was part of that. If you were covered, if you had Utah,
Right.
They have quite a few states.
There are, but the last time I looked at the list, the question was, would you really travel to any of those states? So look at the list.
Oh, yeah, we did look at that too, and we were even talking about maybe getting somebody certified to teach it. At the same token, yeah, right. Some states I'm not going to anyway.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And not because I just have no need or desire. It's kind of out of my area of travel.
Right. Yeah, I don't. The last we checked, Utah doesn't cover Florida either, right?
Don't recall.
I don't think it does.
I gotta look. I have to look it up. Yeah. I don't even want to go to Florida. I don't like it. You can keep it. I want to go on to my lake in Maine and sit by the water, and I'm a happy camper.
Right.
You can keep the heat and humidity, and if it gets too hot where I go, I fall in the water.
There you go. Yeah. So Patrick asked if you put this up on the screen, Mike. Would your camps have any similarity to IDPA?
It's, I guess, I've only done one IDPA type event, so in a way, it's a lot of functional shooting. So like, we don't design our courses of fire or anything to be like, super like we're crazy tactical. We're not trying to pretend we're operators.
Right.
We're doing everyday things. Cover concealment, coming out of a vehicle, shooting around a vehicle, that kind of stuff.
Threat identification.
So we're not fast roping or rappelling off of a structure or we're not kicking through here and there.
It's not competition. It's more practical skills of inside your home, around your vehicle, third party protection. Right, you're out with your wife. You carry, she does not. How to control her body line, verbalize, move her offline, and still engage a threat with a firearm. Being able to work together as a team.
Team, and then partners, and we did some weapon retention, and we were, of course, very cautious and very careful how that worked and went down, because we went from you ensuring your weapon was secure. It was an instructor on, we were like. It looked like a pig pile almost. It was very well choreographed. Choreography. We were able to ensure safety, and then you were able to move on and engage a threat. But it's, I guess you could say there are some elements similar, in that it's like even like IDPA. There's a lot of stuff they do that is you're sitting at a table and you got to draw and you engage threat or whatever.
Right.
So I've seen those courses of fire. There, I guess there is some similarity in that.
I don't know how big the groups are in the IDPA, but the ones that I've seen have been a little bit larger groups too. I mean, you got to realize that our camps
I attended was huge compared to what we were doing.
Talk a little bit about our group.
Our groups, we have a very large instructor to student ratio. We limit us about 10 at the most. Granted, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I'd love to have 100 people there who want to attend the camp. That's all great, but when you lose out on instruction, quality instruction, and you're having people walk away thinking, "Oh yeah, and they really," and then God forbid they have to use this when it happens and it goes bad for them. And I don't want to see that happen, and neither is Jamie or Scott. But great interruptions. Everybody's got to tell you something when you're busy.
Bring them on camera.
No, that's fine. So we prefer to have a smaller group so we can work together, and we can, if you need a little more attention, not because you're terrible, because you're trying to work through something or you have a question, we can break off, go over to the side, and work with you or talk to you and have a conversation, and not take away from the entire group.
Right.
Or in the questions, a lot of these questions that come up, they're great. They're great for everybody, and the whole group ends up in a little bit of a back and forth. And if it's something that everybody was curious about, we'll bring it in. We'll incorporate a course of fire or some way to work it into the event or the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's it's a really great event, Patrick. So more real world and practical, 100% practical. And I know there's a few people that are online with us right now watching. Feel free to comment on Patrick's posts over here if you're on the Facebook channels. I'm not sure, Patrick, which Facebook you're on. If you're on our Connecticut T4 Survival Alpha Krav Maga Connecticut, you won't see our main brand page, which is Alpha T4 Survival and Alpha Krav Maga, the main page. So you might have to jump to another page. But yes, it is 100% real world, 100% practical, and really empowering to go through the camp.
No, I don't think. I'm not an expert or well versed in IDPA, so please don't think I'm trying to say I am. But I don't think I've ever seen any of those courses of fire where somebody attacks you physically and you have to use open hand combatives to stop them and then engage a threat.
No,
firearm. No, I don't think. I really haven't seen a lot of people incorporating that at all, if anybody.
Right. I was going to say how large are the groups that actually incorporate that, and we're looking at probably less than 1% of any place in the United States you're going to be able to have that access. That's what makes our camp so special and so high level and so most widely sought out. So
and
go ahead.
So something to think about. We don't do that the moment you walk in the door. We build into it, but we build into that very quickly.
Right.
And because of the smaller group and the restrictions we have on it, it allows us to help develop everybody to get to that point at a faster rate.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time on the range, in between meals and hanging out at the fire pit. We're back on that range. I love it. I have a blast. I'm not afraid or ashamed to say it. I don't know who's having more fun when we're out there, them or us. It's a good time.
And a lot of repeat customers. I say more than 50% of people that are in our camp have attended our every camp throughout the year. They're coming all 3 times. So if you're interested in attending the camp, any of you guys are watching this live stream, even if you're watching the replay, send us a direct message through our social media channels or go to our website, t4survival.com/camp 2020. And from there, you'll be able to start a live chat with us and read more up on the testimonials and the camp and dates and all that good stuff, right? Let's see what other questions we have here. So, so confirmation, Utah does not cover Florida. Does not cover Florida, right? I didn't think it did. But, yeah, if you're thinking about doing the Utah permit, go on and look at the states that it covers and think to yourself if you're really going to be traveling those states. I know the Trump administration has bounced around the idea of making a federal carry permit, right? That if you get a permit in a certain state, that it would be allowed to be carried across the country. However, states can override that, right? The federal law.
Yeah, I think states can be more restrictive, if I recall.
Yeah. So even though it sounds really good and people are really excited about it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen in every state or will be accepted in every state. So keep that in mind as well.
So if you have a permit that covers multiple states,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be aware of the restrictions in that state.
Yeah.
Like guidance we were given with EOSA is, granted, yeah, you can carry that firearm throughout the continental U.S., but if you go to a state that says you can only have 10 rounds in a magazine, you better have 10 rounds in that magazine, or a 10-round magazine that can only take 10 rounds per se.
Right.
Because there's other locations they've jammed off-duty and retirees up because it was over capacity or whatever the case was.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you have any comments for us, want to add anything into the conversation, put them in the comments below on social media. Again, just a reminder, if you're watching live on our website, because I had a lot of people that sent us messages over the past couple of weeks saying they're on the website, they couldn't chat with us. It's a view-only format on the back end of our website. So if you want to chat with us, put things into the comments and engage with us, please go to one of our Facebook pages. Just go to Facebook and type in T4 Survival and Alpha Krav Maga. You'll find our pages up there. We have our main brand page, and then we have our Connecticut location, our Moosehead Lake location. Or you can go to our YouTube channel, T4 Survival and Alpha Krav Maga, and watch us there and comment. Yeah, it's important, guys, to make sure that you're getting that time and that training in. And look us up. Talk to us about the camp. Let's get you guys involved, especially with everything that's going on now in the world. When things start getting, reopening and start getting back to normal, which, to be honest with you, I don't know what normal is going to be anymore. It's going to take a while. On that topic, I was telling Mike earlier this week, and I kind of want to say it out loud now, is that past couple of years, I've always watched the news stories and the commentary and stuff happening in China, and you see people walking around the streets with the face masks on. I always thought to myself, man, I would never want to live in that type of environment, right? And imagine being on the streets in China all the time and having to wear face masks. And now look where we're at. They've put us into a state of needing to wear masks and social distancing. And my personal and my honest opinion that China should be held accountable for this whole thing. And I think this administration has talked about possibly doing something about that. So we'll have to see what happens. Right.
Well, on to lighter news. One of my favorite pictures from the internet this week.
Oh,
Jamie, you can throw it up there.
I got it.
This guy is taking social distancing to a new level, and I got to tell you, he's either a little wonky, or like I said to somebody else as a joke, or old Navy vet, and likes to spoon things up, and those are very, very close. And speaking from experience, but that guy right there, that's awesome. He sat down and said, "How could I make this awesome device? I wish he would sell them. I would buy one."
And look where he is. Can you see where he is? Let's see if I can zoom in.
Lowe's.
At Lowe's.
Yeah.
What would you
That's awesome.
What would you do if you saw this guy in public?
I just laugh. I would thumbs up. I would tell him that's awesome,
I would
and
too.
I would just enjoy it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He knows he's eyeballing the person taking his picture too. Look at him.
I know. Yeah. He's like, hey, yeah, look at. You like it? It even looks like he has a little smirk on his face.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
Got to go back
That's
to
why-
it. Go ahead.
There's, it's like like the website, the People of Walmart,
Yeah.
or something like that. There's websites now that have all the improvised masks and PPE people are using.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's a riot.
Well, I saw the picture we talked about this past week of the husband and wife, and they're wearing sanitary women napkins across their face. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen.
A guy, what was the guy using orange peel? You see that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay. Good stuff.
All right, well, you're gonna have to share that with me. I got to take us back to reality just for a second, because there was one thing I did want to bring up, and that was the incident in Wallingford. So in Wallingford, Connecticut, this past week, there was there's a lot of vehicle thefts that happen around many parts of the country. It's very I don't want to use the word popular, but I mean, think of Mike, how many cars were stolen out of Sellington this past week?
I think one night we had 4 cars stolen overnight.
Right? And there goes one right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think that's my idiot neighbor.
So
that's my neighbor. He's a great guy.
So cars are being stolen out of driveways, and people are leaving their keys inside their car, or they're putting their spare key inside of their car. They're taking their main key inside the house. Somebody opens up the door.
Car, but the car unlocks itself because it senses a key in the car.
Right. So
I lock it all the time. I swear.
Right.
Well, where's your other key? I don't know. It's in the house, I think. No, it was in your car.
Right.
They drove off with the key in the car. They got in, hit the button, the push button start, and they drove away.
Right. Right. And the other thing that was interesting, we had an incident in Cheshire, Connecticut, where a guy went to it was a Jeep, belonged to someone in gosh, I can't remember. It was an older or late teens, early 20-year-old girl living at home with her parents. Left her Jeep unlocked. Guy goes inside the Jeep, goes look for the keys, can't find the keys, but the garage opener was in the sun visor. Hit the garage opener, door open. Now we're talking middle of the night, right? Anyone inside the house didn't hear it. This guy went inside the garage, checked the other vehicles, opened up the kitchen door, was unlocked, went inside the kitchen, and as soon as they went in the kitchen where there's a mudroom area, they had all their jackets, backpacks, and everything up on the hooks there, took everything down off, cleaned out the wallets, the money, change, anything valuable that they could find inside the backpacks and inside the pocketbook, took the car keys that were inside the pocketbooks and on the hooks, went outside and stole 2 vehicles and took off with the vehicles. So even though you're thinking you're locking your vehicle, you're not leaving your keys or anything valuable inside the vehicle, do your garage door openers operate if your car is unlocked? I know on some vehicles you have a setting where you can make them operate or not operate with the key in or not. So that's something to consider. Your garage doors are able to be open and unlocked.
Please lock your cars.
Yeah, that's it. And don't leave anything of value visible, because no one's going to break in just randomly hoping that there might be something valuable. If they don't see anything in there, they're not going to bother. They're just going to move on and look for something that's easy to break the window and grab, right? So,
Yeah, take that spare key that people forget about and leave in their glove box.
yeah.
Put it in house. Put it somewhere secure.
So let's talk about what happened in Wallingford. So in Wallingford, a guy was trying to break inside of a car. Homeowner sees the guy trying to break inside the car, goes outside to engage the person and ask him what the hell they're doing. The person that was breaking into the vehicle to steal it, right? I think he was getting ready to drive away or was driving away. I don't remember that particular part because there's so many articles I read over the week. However, he took off after these guys that were trying to steal the vehicle. And the guys that were trying to steal the vehicle end up having a real firearm and end up shooting at the guy. So
yeah, he cornered him. I think the article was he cornered him in a neighborhood.
Was it?
Like a,
did he chase him in a car or vehicle or by foot?
He drove after. No, I think he drove after him.
Okay.
Chased them in their car, in his car, and if I'm correct, he cornered him in a neighborhood and they shot at him.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a property crime up until that point. Why chase these guys? I mean, what are you getting out of that? So here's the thing. I get it. You're angry. I get it. How dare you? This is mine. I'm on board with that. I'm on board with those feelings.
100%.
Now we're going to chase this guy in our car, and they're going to try and get away because they don't want to get caught.
Right.
And you're pissed off, so you're going to chase them. So they're going to do everything they can to get away from you. What happens when they plow into the family of four, coming home late from grandma's house or whatever, or the poor guy trying to make a living to support his family out in the middle of the night on a third shift, and they ram into him by accident because they didn't mean to. They're just trying to get away from you. It kills them.
Right.
Well, now you've got that on your plate. I mean, it's not worth it.
No.
Okay, no, that didn't happen, but they shot at him. Okay, they didn't hit him. Where did that round end up?
Yeah.
In Bobby Joe's bedroom or your son your living room as it comes through the window. They don't care where it goes.
Right.
I know I sound like I'm getting hot about this. I'm feeling very passionate, but there's no need to escalate that. It's not worth it.
Yeah, they're gone. Your family's safe, right? And engaging them and going after them, and it's just a perfect example of you want to engage a threat, but are you prepared of what might happen? And what could come back at you and how their response might be. Kind of like going up to a guy and starting an argument with a guy. You don't plan on him punching you in the face, right? I say all the time in my classes that the guy that's mouthing off to you, the guy that's looking to attack you or carjack you, looks at you as a victim. They're not expecting you to know how to fight and know how to defend yourself, right? So never judge a book by its cover, and always be prepared that whatever you engage can re-engage back at you, and are you prepared for that? And is it worth it? Is it really worth the reason why you're engaging them? But
then what? Now this escalates. They're shooting at him. He's got a firearm on him. Now he's like, oh, they're shooting at me. I got to shoot back. I mean, it has a possibility of just getting. It was out of control at that point. It could just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where does it end? I mean, at what point? Over them going in your unlocked car, because I'm sure the car was unlocked in the driveway, right. Going through your stuff. Granted, you don't want them doing it, but by leaving your car unlocked, you're almost inviting it in a way.
Right.
I mean, nobody asked it to happen, but take some basic precautions.
Right.
I mean, I know I'm a little carried away with it, but I locked my truck in my garage. The doors are locked. The door coming from the garage into the house is locked. I don't know. I
don't make it easy.
No, don't.
It takes 2 seconds to flip the lock on the door, put your keys away, lock the doors on your house. Why make it easy for anybody, and why leave that option for them to be able to take advantage of somebody, right? So it is what it is, guys. You just got to make smart decisions and be safe. On that note, let's talk about a couple seminars we have up and coming. So Scott, Mike, and I have been talking about putting a online home invasion course that will be happening in the next couple of weeks. So any of you that are interested in attending, it's going to be a lecture online and some Q&A as well about preparing your home for a home invasion, engaging a threat inside your home, and we'll go over some case studies as well. We're also putting together a women's only firearm self-defense course online, and basically it will be a Q&A type session for any women that are interested in getting their pistol permit, using a firearm for self-defense, or thinking about going through the permit process and have questions. This will give an opportunity for those women to be able to have access to us and be able to ask any questions that they have and about the process in order to get their pistol permit. Both of those should be online on our websites, on social media, and posted within the next couple of days, and they will be happening within the next couple of weeks. And we're going to have a couple other seminars as too. We've been talking about active shooter and a few others that will be online on our new online portal, which makes us a really good segue again, Michael, into our new online platform that we're launching. So we've been doing live online classes. You're not going to find it on our Facebook page or our YouTube. It's for our clients only. We have a online membership that you can be part of. So if you live anywhere around the globe and you want to have access to participate in my live classes, they happen 3 days a week, Monday and Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. and on Saturday mornings at 9:30 a.m. You can have access to those classes as a member, and you also get exclusive access to our online video platform, which will give you access to our on-demand content of technique breakdowns, curriculum videos. It will give you access to the replays of our live classes. So if you usually jump into class on Saturday morning and for whatever reason you can't make it, you can access that class afterwards, 24/7, and be able to review the class or be able to work out with the class at your leisure. Also, all the online workshops and lectures and seminars that we're going to be hosting online will all be on this platform. So we're really excited about it. We've started slowly releasing it over the past couple of days, and a lot more information to come on that. So stay tuned. We're really excited about it. Mike, I know that you and I have been playing around this week and seeing all the cool features and things that it can do. The only way, though, for you to have access to all this content, online content, live online classes, and access to the three of us for Q&A and any questions you have is becoming a member. If you're a member of one of our training centers already, if you're a private member of T4 Survival, you'll have access to the platform automatically. But if you are not and you're interested in starting to train with us, this is a great way for you to start to get to know us a little bit, start working out in the privacy of your own home. And then when things get reopened at the training centers, you can come in and continue your training in person. And here's the key, guys. Even when this is all over, the online courses, the live online classes are going to continue to happen. They're not going away. So whether I'm teaching in Connecticut, I'm teaching in Maine, or even remotely someplace else at affiliate location or school, I'm going to continue to live stream and have classes available for everybody on a weekly basis. And so if you live around the globe and you don't have access to a local training center with us, you can continue to work out with us and have access to us in those classes. So you can head to our website at any time and check it out. It's t4survival.com/online. From there, you'll be able to sign up for a membership, or if you've never done training with me before, there's a starter course that is offered on there, which will give you some 4 pre-recorded videos, take you through a live online course, or where you'll be able to watch the videos and get the basic stance in Krav Maga. You'll be able to learn how to palm strike, punch, throw straight punches, hooks, uppercuts is all included in that online course. So you have your foundation built, and then you can jump right into the regular live online classes ready to rock and roll. So check it out on our website, t4survival.com/online, and you can share that link with all your friends and family as well, and let them know about the online classes we're offering. I just talked for a hell of a lot of time there, Michael.
I know. I'm falling asleep. I'm sorry.
I saw you yawn, I think, once, and the screen over there is getting dark. It's getting dark out where you are.
I know. I realize. That's why I'm looking around. I'm like, man, it got dark all of a sudden.
I know. Like,
I'm in my secret location, my remote studio location, the back deck on my house, and I think we're gonna have to relocate soon if we keep talking too much longer.
No, we've only got a few minutes left,
and it got darker than it would normally, I think. But so to kind of do you have the photo ready of just because you can doesn't mean you should?
Yeah, this is our sponsor today, Alpha Krav Maga. Huh? I did Batman 2 weeks ago. We'll go Alpha Krav Maga today. So
we got to get that laser engraved on one of mugs for you.
Oh, I know. Well, I have this one. I haven't stopped using it since I got it as a gift from the camp from Jeffrey Kahn.
But I was fooling around, and I got double images engraved on this one, fooling around.
Yeah.
So I got to paint it up and have it done right and get it up and running. So I think I'm going to do T4 on one side. We'll do Alpha on the other. Do you have that photo of just today's this week's segment of why?
No, I don't think I do. Where do we send that? Was it Click or Messages?
Oh, come on. Let me find it.
All right.
Because this is one of those, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Jennifer says Evan has one from the CIA. A mug? One of these? CIA? Let us know what he has. What he has from the CIA.
Or he's not supposed to talk about it if he tells you he's going to kill you.
Secret's out now. You know that's not just a mug, right? There's a tracing component inside of that mug that videotapes and records you 24/7.
Let's see here. All right, I got it. I'm going to send it over to you, Jamie.
All right. All right, guys, I'm going to put this up on the screen. So this is the tactical item.
Yeah, just because you can does not mean you should.
All right, let's get this up here. All right. Wish we had a drum roll. But we'll just have to go with it.
I get closer to the screen so you can see me.
And here it comes. How about that?
Why? What is wrong with you? I think that's what, probably $1,000 worth of accessories right there, or no, not quite. Well, maybe.
No. Look at that.
I don't know how much that optic is, though. That's got to be a few $100 at least. I mean, I was 5'6". Maybe I'm way off because I don't really shop for them. Yep. But really, why are you doing that to your gun?
And then the knife again.
You know, that stupid bayonet knife. Oh, please stop.
So that why the hell would you do that? And of course, David could make an awesome holster for that. However, why would you do that to your beautiful Glock?
I think honestly, I could do a better uses for the optics, like maybe a rifle.
Yeah, David says, "Wow, that's hideous."
Yeah.
And I mean, that poor Glock. I mean, I could see if it was a Smith or something, but no, Glock.
Oh, Scott's not here to defend it.
Anyway, well, guys, if you have any questions for us, we're going to be cutting off soon in a few minutes. Put them in the comments on social media. Oh, wow, I could just about see Mike's face.
Closer.
There we go.
Closer I get, more light reflects.
There you go. If you have any questions for us, feel free to put them in the comments. Yeah, Patrick says that's going to be an awful lot of Kydex. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's going to be an upcharge for that holster. But if you have any comments for us, put them in the comments on social media, one of our Facebook pages and YouTube. Again, we're on all of our Facebook pages, so if you're on one and you're not seeing the comments come through, people might be commenting on one of our other Facebook pages or from our YouTube channel. So you can watch from any one of those platforms when we broadcast live. But if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments below. If you're looking to get some online training and want to join one of my live online Krav Maga classes, next one is tomorrow night, Monday night, 6:30 p.m. You can head over to our website, t4survival.com/online. And from there, you can do sign up for a starter course to get the basics and foundation ready to go. You could sign up for a membership, or you can message me via a chat by hitting the little chat icon on the bottom right corner of your screen. And when you start a chat, you're going to get myself, Michael, or Scott, and you can ask any questions you might have. There you go, Mike. You're back. Guys, I appreciate you joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next week, Sunday night at 7 p.m. If you have questions or something you'd like us to include on one of these segments, put them in the comments as well, especially if you're watching the replay when it's not live. Put them in the comments below and let us know. We'll try to get into one of our future segments. Mikey, anything you want to add?
No, it's scary out here. It's dark.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. We're going to sign off for now. We'll look forward to seeing you guys next week, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Be safe, make smart decisions. Remember, T for survival, training for surviving the fight of your life. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
See you guys next week.